Epic Crafters, welcome back to the live stream of Epic Cardboard Props, the only channel that aims to teach you how to make mind-blowing props from movies and TV shows like these ones. I'm Raphael, I'm the owner of this channel, and yeah, today I'm gonna hang out with you to talk about a lot of fun stuff like movies, props, crafting with cardboard, of course, and I'm gonna answer all of your questions if you have questions, because I know that most of you, many of you, most of you, when you end up on my YouTube channel, usually you're like, most of you are thinking like, am I able to do that kind of stuff? Because it feels like it's very complicated and very difficult to do. So yeah, so I understand. So it's not. And that's why I'm here today to answer your question live, because I know that you have this question about these props, and if you can make some of them, and some of you are thinking about making one of another, but you're not sure about it. So if you have doubt about something, just ask your question live today, and I'm gonna answer the question to help you with that, and to reassure you. And of course, after that, if you feel like you can't make this props, so don't. But yeah, I'm here today. And another thing, I think you can hear that already. English is not my first language, and it's especially most difficult for me when I'm live streaming, because I can't repeat myself, record something, and if it's not right, record again. Like I do in my regular tutorial videos. I have to do everything live, so I do a lot of mistakes. I'm sorry about that. Most of you knows that already, but yeah, I prefer to say that right out of the gate for you to know that. So if you don't understand something, don't hesitate to let me know in the chat. I try to repeat myself maybe in a different way, but yeah, bear with me, because it's not easy for me. And the way it works, there is a form in the description box below for you to answer, to ask questions, because in the chat, most of the time it's difficult for me to find out all the questions, and I missed a lot of questions when they are in the chat, actually. So there is a form for that in the description box below, where you can ask your questions, and the way it's worked on a first come, first served basis. So don't waste your time, go ahead right now, so that way I'll be able to answer all of your questions by the end of the live stream. And yeah. So I'd like to say hello to some people already. I had to welcome Aaron Rosero. Say yes, and he was counting the intro. Okay, Daphne Carter. Hey Daphne, good to see you here again. Let's start. Yeah. And by the way, let me know in the chat, are you new on this YouTube channel? Because I know that there are a lot of new people on this YouTube channel, especially recently. So don't hesitate to let me know in the chat, just with an hashtag I'm new or hashtag new in the chat. And yeah, and if you are old, the drill, leave an hashtag old. I love to see your old hashtag old in the chat, because I know most of you for a long time now. So yeah, so don't hesitate to do that. I'd like to know that. And another thing, let me know where you are watching this live stream from. I ask that pretty much every live stream, because it's just because I'm just mind blown to see the people watching this live stream from everywhere in the world. That's so that's mind blowing for me. I live in London. I'm French, but I live in London, so I know I should be able to speak English better than I do. But yeah, so I live in London. So if you let me know in the chat, where you are watching this live stream from. I know that there are a lot of people from America, India, German, Spain. I have a lot of people from Mexico, Spain. So yeah, so let me know in the chat. I'd love to see that. And don't hesitate to introduce yourself as well, because I'd love to meet you in the chat. So Ajagnip say hello Ajija, how are you doing? Katish Shajde say, I have a question. If I don't have fiberglass, how do you harden like papercraft cardboard helmet? If you don't have I think if you don't have that and you're making something out of cardboard, the best way to make your cardboard sturdier is by just applying a mix of wood glue and water on it. Even without the paper. I do that with the paper usually, but if you don't apply paper or anything, just make a mix of wood glue and water. Wood glue is a very strong PVA glue, so mix of wood glue and water. Maybe 2 doses for water, first layer with 2 doses of water from 1 of glue, and after that another layer with 1 dose of water and 1 of glue. And that mixture is going to enter the material itself, the cardboard, and when it's drying, it's gonna make everything sturdier. So you can do that. But there is a flip side of this, is that if it's too liquid, and it may deform your props a bit, especially the cardboard, because cardboard you have the corrugations, and you may end up at the end seeing the corrugations through the cardboard a little bit more than. That's why I'm not doing that anymore. But yeah, it's the best way I know to harden cardboard if you don't use resin or something else like that. Okay, hey, My cats are going crazy today. CEO Captain America shield is not here, so and I can't take it now. I guess I can. It's gonna be difficult for me because he's plugged behind a few other props, and I'm a bit afraid to to push everything on the ground if I do. But maybe I will show that later in the live stream. Okay. I don't have questions yet in the form, so go ahead right now. So if you didn't hear that before, there is a form in the description box below for you to answer your questions. If you are thinking about making one of my props, but you're not sure because they feel like I know that at first sight you can feel like they are very difficult to make, but they are not actually, because I provide templates especially for that purpose, because they are not doable for everyone. The props I make, I'm not doable for everyone without the templates. So that's why I provide the templates, and I know that I'm charging for the templates. They were totally free for about a year, but at some point I had to find a way to make money from this YouTube channel, and the templates were the only way I found. And actually, if they are charged for them, it's because they are not made in a day. I work on them for weeks, so that would be crazy to make them for free, unfortunately. So I can't do that now, but yeah. That's why I provide templates, because they allows you to make these crazy props, the most difficult props I do on this YouTube channel, even if you're not a professional props maker like me. And that's the goal of this YouTube channel. So yeah, so that's why I provide templates. So if you use the template and if you follow all the steps of the tutorial videos from A to Z, even the small steps, and if you do that, and if you follow the instructions that are in the templates as well, because there are more instructions on the templates, like the thickness of cardboard you have to use to make a specific piece, for instance, or a specific element or part, the thickness of it, and the direction of the corrugations as well is mentioned, and a lot of little things that are very important for you to get the best result possible. Actually the same result as me. That's the goal of this template. Okay, so yeah, so I have a question in the form already, so that's great. And so the first question in the form is from Aquatich HD, and the question is, how do you make your templates? That's a great question, and I get that question a lot. Unfortunately, I can't answer simply in a few sentences to that question, because you have to understand that if I was able to tell you right now, in just like 5 minutes or even in 1 hour how to make the templates, I would have done it a long time ago in the tutorial videos. It's just that they are so tricky to make. They are very tricky build, professional build that I try to simplify as much as I can by making these templates, which take me weeks. When I do a props, I work on the design of it. Now I'm using softwares to make this. Before that, I was using only my brain, and I was doing calculation and mathematics and that kind of stuff. Now I'm using tricky softwares, several softwares to make these templates, and I'm basically working from them as well now, which was the other way around when I before the software. So that's why now I'm able, by the way, to provide outlined templates now, and before they were scans, because it was the most accurate way I had at the time to provide you the most accurate templates I can. Now I'm able to provide outlined templates, and that's because I use softwares, and these tricky softwares and everything, they are so tricky. You have to learn how to use the software, each of them, for you to be able to do what I'm doing with this template. So, and each software, they took me several months. Even now, some software I'm not able. I'm always, teaching, learning stuff, looking for tutorials to do some things on this software. So I'm not able to answer to that question. But basically, I try to find good pictures on the internet from the props I'm going to make. When I can, I try to use several 3D models. Most of the time, several 3D models. That way I'm able to see all the angles of the props I want to make, which helps a lot. And the rest, everything is on my computer now, and yeah, but I can't explain everything. That's too difficult. But maybe I will do a series of videos later on my YouTube channel. Maybe I'm not sure. Maybe it's going to be for the members. I don't know, because I'm not sure it's gonna. As I said, it's a very tricky process, very complicated process, and I'm not sure it's gonna please everyone that I do that publicly on this YouTube channel. So maybe it's going to be I will do a series of videos for the members of this channel in the future. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I think I will do I will explain, you know, step by step how I do these templates and how I create all of these props from the bottom, you know, from the very beginning in a series of videos in this YouTube channel, but I don't know how and I don't know when. Okay, teaching yourself French. Miley is teaching herself French. Okay, that's great. That's cool. Super. C'est génial qu'elle est en train d'apprendre le français elle-même. It's great that she's learning French herself. I love your channel. Thank you, Zayed Ali. I appreciate that. Please check my comment before. I don't know what was your comment before. Yo, hi, I love your channel. I'm thinking to make many of your props after Mars. Okay, I think it was this one. 20, cause you know I got exams and hope you are safe. Love from India. Thank you. I hope you are safe too, Zayed Ali. So the question, what was the question? I'm thinking to make many of your props after Mars 28 because I got exams. So yeah, that's great. Go for it. And if you have questions while you are working on it, know that I'm always there in the comments. I'm always answering all the comments on this YouTube channel. And if you have questions and you put them in the comments of this live stream or in the comments area of my tutorial videos, I'm gonna answer. I'm gonna help you. I do that all the time. If you watch the comments area of my tutorial videos, you probably know that already. I hate everything and I answer to pretty much everyone, even all the requests. And there are so many requests. You know, usually it's always pretty much the same answer when I have requests, because you know I can't do everything. So I take everything into account. And you know, so I say, yeah, I take your request into account, I'll think about it. Usually I answer that to the request, because yeah, but it's true actually. I take everything into account, and you know, if I have a lot of requests about a specific prop, you know, I may make it. So yeah, so I diverge. So if you have questions because you're working on one of my props, don't hesitate to put your questions in the comments area of my tutorial videos, because I'm gonna answer your questions all the time. If I see them, usually I see everything. Pretty much, I think. Ok, so bonjour monsieur, je ne comprends pas bien l'anglais, mais j'aime bien vos vidéos et ce que vous planifiez d'un jour de voir tutoriel en français. So Jonathan asked in French if I can. He loves my videos, but he'd like me to make videos in French. So I can't do that. Sorry, I can't. Jonathan, je ne peux pas. I'm gonna answer him in French just because I think he doesn't understand English very well. Sorry, désolé Jonathan, je ne peux pas faire de vidéos en français parce que tous mes abonnés parlent anglais ici. Ça n'aurait pas de sens pour moi de faire mes vidéos en français à cause de ça. So désolé. Mais la plupart de mes vidéos ont des sous-titres français, donc j'ai trop de mal à switcher en français quand je parle en anglais. So yeah, don't hesitate to enable the French subtitles if you are French, because pretty much all of my videos have French subtitles. Where do you get your cardboard? That's a good question. I get my cardboard, most of my cardboard, from Amazon. I think it's not a surprise for most of you here, but yeah, I get most of my cardboard from Amazon, from deliveries in general, but most of them from Amazon. And actually, it's not that much. I'm not, of course, I order quite a lot. Not a lot, but I order some stuff, you know, from Amazon. But most people order as much stuff as me. Sorry about that. But so yes, it's just that I learned how to save the cardboard, you know, because most of people doesn't realize how much cardboard they throw away in a monthly basis. I'm sure that most of you that think that, you know, they don't have enough cardboard to do all of the stuff I do on my YouTube channel. Most of you actually have, but you just don't realize it. I promise you. I wasn't sure about it myself. When I started, I was like, yeah, I want to do this YouTube channel, but what the heck, I would never have enough cardboard to do all of this stuff, especially if I want to make 1 or 2 tutorials a month. It's gonna you know, require so much cardboard, and I have way too much cardboard. I have to throw away cardboard actually now, because I have stored too many cardboard. So I'm just keeping the cardboard that I have not enough of, you know, because some type of cardboard I don't get it a lot, but I do a lot of this stuff. So for me, you know, I have to have a lot of cardboard from, you know, any type of cardboard. But yeah, just save the cardboard you get from your monthly deliveries, if you have them, if you get monthly deliveries, and you should have enough cardboard for doing pretty much everything I do on this YouTube channel. And if you don't have deliveries, if you don't get deliveries, and you know you don't have cardboard because, you know, not everyone is ordering stuff from Amazon like me, so I totally get that. Especially depending where you live in the world, Amazon doesn't exist everywhere. Like in Switzerland, where I grew up, there is no Amazon doesn't exist, so that's not the same thing. So if you don't have enough cardboard from your deliveries, don't hesitate to ask to your local stores. I know that might be you may feel like it's might be weird to ask that, but you don't be like that, because I did that once a long time ago, because I was once running out of cardboard, and I did that a long time ago, which is not the case now. But yeah, so they are usually more than happy to have someone that want to get rid of their cardboard for them, because the store usually have to get rid of their cardboard in a weekly basis, and it's a work. It takes hours to do so. They have to crush them and throw them away and everything. Even if you go for them, and you ask that, let me take the cardboard, I need this because I want to make something for my school, I don't know, say something like that, and they are going to be usually they are more than happy to have someone that want to do that. So yeah, I'm gonna check something, because I have something weird. Just 1 second. Okay. So yeah, so do that if you don't have enough cardboard. Usually it works very well. Next question is from the Meo non-dollarien from Instagram, and so he is working on the non-dollarien. That's great. And the question is there a good way to get a smooth surface on props without sanding and paper mache? So yeah, so I just like to rectify something, because I'm never very happy when you say paper mache, because I'm not really doing that actually. Paper mache is a weird technique. It's a little bit of paper mache, I guess, of course, because I use paper and I do a mix of wood glue and water on my props, but it's mostly cardboard, and I use paper mache to smooth out a little bit the surface. And paper mache usually is more complicated than that. You have to make a mixture more than just wood glue and water, or white glue and water. You have to use several products to do so, and it's not the same thing. But yeah, so okay, so how to smooth the surface without sanding and paper mache? It's gonna be difficult. I think the way you can smooth out the surface very well without sanding, without paper mache, but you have to sand. There is no magic. At some point you have to do one of them, I think. But you can just apply a layer of modeling paste. I did that on this one. The Boba Fett helmet here, and I applied the modeling paste pretty much everywhere, or not pretty much. I applied the modeling paste everywhere on the my nose is itchy, I don't know why. Modeling paste everywhere in the helmet, and then you have to sand it out, of course, because the modeling paste is not gonna smooth by itself. And pretty much any product that if you do that with resin, it's gonna be the same thing. If you apply resin, I never did that, but I think you'll end up with a very smooth surface as well, but you'll have to smooth the surface out as well. So there is no tricks or magic. If you don't want to use paper, or if you don't want to sand, I don't know how. There is no magic way to have a smooth surface, especially out of cardboard. If you want to have a smooth surface without sanding or applying paper, I think you just have to use another material like foam. Foam is already smooth by itself, most of it. Of course, when you have when you make your stuff, you'll have some separation, everything that you'll have maybe to smooth out. But foam is very smooth by itself, I think. I'm not used to make things out of foam, of course, but I'm pretty sure you'll have a smoother surface without sanding or using paper mache techniques. And new Shama, don't do that. Don't do that. Stop now. Don't spam the chat, otherwise I will have to put you on time out. So yeah, don't do that. Okay. So Niv Sharma, stop now. Okay, so the next question is from in the chat is from Max Choreno. And hey, Max Choreno, good to see you here again. And the question is, how many templates do you have done right now? Congratulations about your success with your YouTube channel. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Thank you. So how many templates do you have done right now? It's pretty much the same amount of props that you see on my tutorial, on my videos, because I only made 2 props outside of this tutorial, outside of this channel. It was before starting this YouTube channel, and one of them actually I remake it as a tutorial video for this for the channel. So there is only one prop actually that you don't have tutorial videos for it. So I don't remember exactly. I think there is about 40 videos on this YouTube channel, 40 tutorials on this YouTube channel. So it's about 40 type of templates I've done. And the only one I did before was a little small gun, but I didn't use templates because I didn't made it myself. It wasn't my design. It was a design from the Magical Amazing, another YouTube channel. I think he stopped making videos, unfortunately. I'm not sure, but I think he stopped. But yeah, so about 40, but I'm not sure the exact amount. I should know that. It's weird, but yeah. Okay, so question in the chat. Nazia Tariq with hashtag question ask, are you planning to make or to the progress of making something? So question, are you planning to make or in the progress of making something? Of course, of course. You have to know that I'm always making something on this YouTube channel. If I'm not posting 1 tutorial videos a week, it's because I can't, because I'm always working on the prop and they take weeks for me to make, because I have to make everything from scratch, guys. You know, I don't use templates myself. I make these templates for you to make them yourself at home and preventing you to do 70% of the job I do on these props, because the template is about 70% of the job, and you don't have to do that because it's all, you know, it's the days and weeks I took on my computer and making this, you know, designing of these props. So yeah, so that's why it takes a long time for me to post tutorials on this YouTube channel and new props, but I'm always making something new. And at the moment I'm working on another Star Wars props, because Star Wars is a big thing at the moment, so I'm focus a little bit on Star Wars at the moment. So I'm working on another Star Wars prop. Is going to be the Dark Saber from the Mandalorian, and I think it's going to be quite simple actually. It's great. So a few simple props at the moment, which is cool because I used to make very tricky props. So I think it's cool, you know, sometimes from time to time to make some easy props for, you know, for some of you that doesn't want to make, you know, the T-Rex head or, you know, the very huge props I did on this YouTube channel. So yeah. Okay. Question: are you making Darth Vader mask or planning it? Yeah, Nazir. I'm actually, I already started the build. I don't know when I'm gonna finish it and I'm gonna be able to post the tutorial video. I'm gonna post the Darth Vader helmet tutorial before the season of the Obi-Wan. You know, the series Obi-Wan that's gonna be released really soon in a few months. So I'm gonna do it for sure before that, but yeah, I'm not sure when before exactly. Okay. I just answered that question. I have a question. Do you plan on making the Mandalorian black lightsaber and Darth Vader helmet in the future? So yeah, so I just answered both of these questions, and the Dark Saber I'm working on it as I speak at the moment, and a little proof of it is here. Okay. So the next question is from Tanmay Shukla. Tanmay Shukla. I'm sorry, I'm murdering your name, all of your names. I'm so bad at pronouncing name correctly. So yeah, so the question is, I have 2 questions. I am making the Batman 2022 helmet and add it at cuts near to ears. So I add cut near to ears. So how can we do it? Did you watch Spider-Man 3? 2021. It's a weird formulation of your questions, and with my bad English it's even worse. So yeah, so I'm not sure. So I haven't watched the last Spider-Man yet. I didn't have the time to go to the movie theater to watch it, so I have to wait to watch it, you know, on my at home, you know, on my computer or something. So I haven't seen it, unfortunately, but yeah, that's a shame. I should, but yeah. And so yeah, I don't understand your question about the helmet. Sorry, I think you maybe have to repeat your question in a different way, but I don't get the question. The Batman 22 helmet, add cuts near the hair. So how can we do it? I don't get that. Sorry about that. Yeah, you have to be careful when you ask your question in English, because if you do a lot of mistakes, I'm not saying that you don't, because I do myself a lot of mistakes, but the problem is that my English is not that good. So if you notice not as well and you're making a lot of mistakes in your sentence or in your questions, it's gonna be difficult for me, you know, with my knowledge of English to find out exactly what you mean. Sorry about that. Next question is from next question is from Mary the cat owner. Life with Cats. Hey, Life with Cats. Good to see you here again. I hope you're okay, by the way. I know that because Life with Cats, you know, I hope you doesn't. It's okay for you that I say that live, but Life with Cats is living in Ukraine at the moment. So yeah, so it's difficult situation at the moment, and I hope you're okay. And I hope all of you are safe. You and your family are safe. With this situation, that crazy situation that that we have at the moment in Europe, and between Ukraine and Russia. So yeah. And so our question is: have your family or friends ever helped you with making your props? No, no, because this is not their thing, and they're not even living in the same countries as me now. You know, most of my families, my very close family, is living in Switzerland because I grew up in Switzerland. And I went to Paris when I was 20, you know, to start a cinema school, and now I'm in London as a YouTuber. So it's yeah, and I have families pretty much everywhere because that's a thing on my families. You know, I grew up in Switzerland, but actually I was born in France. My sister is born in Belgium, and my both of my parents were my mother was born in Belgium as well, and my father was born in Zaire, in Boma, Zaire. So it's a tricky situation. I have families everywhere. I have families in California, Italy, Belgium, France, and I'm living in London. My sister is in Switzerland with both of my parents, but except for them, all the other siblings, you know, all of members of my families are living everywhere in the world. So it's very crazy, my situation, and that's why I'm always, you know, struggling when someone is asking me what is my nationality, because I'm always saying that I'm French. Because it's easier for everyone, and because it doesn't, you know, really matter for me because I speak French. You know, my first language is French, but actually I'm not. I grew up in Switzerland. I was naturalized French, Swiss, sorry. So I'm not actually French. I speak French, but I'm not actually French. I've been in France for 15 years as a steady camera operator. You know, I work in Paris after my cinema school that I did in Paris. I work in Paris for 15 years as a steady camera operator and director in the movie industries and, you know, commercial, music videos and that kind of stuff. And so yeah, so that's the crazy stuff. So, but I digress a lot. So yeah, my family doesn't help me with my props. I think my father could, because I, you know, all the stuff I'm able to do with these props, I think I got that from my father. My father is a very handy man. You know, it's crazy. I saw my father building a house from bottom to the ceiling. You know, himself alone. You know, he did everything except for the electricity. And because I did electricity, it was my first diploma. My first diploma was electrician. You know, that's crazy, I know, but in Switzerland, that I did back when I was in Switzerland. And so I did with my father. We built one house and an apartment just by ourselves. You know, so we are very handy with doing stuff, and my father is just able to do anything. So my father could help me if you wanted to, but of course he's living in Switzerland and he has a lot of stuff, interesting stuff to do in his life, so he doesn't. But yeah, interesting question, by the way. Okay, so next question is from Diego Ruiz. Hey Diego Ruiz, good to see you here again. So he made the Xenomorph Fred 10% and Velociraptor 40%. That's great. So you're working on both of these props. That's awesome. The Velociraptor is here, by the way. So he's working on this one. And the Xenomorph Fred that is here, but I think you can see it. Yeah, because it's not on the frame. So he's working on this one, guys. And I'm very proud of this Velociraptor head. I think it turned out pretty great. Pretty cool. Okay. I think that's okay. Okay, so yeah, so that's cool. That's very cool. So the question is, have you ever thought of collaborating with another YouTuber to build a bigger prop, maybe a Hulk Buster or Mega Godzilla or another? Yeah, I would be down for that. I would love to do that. But you know, collaborating with someone. With another YouTuber, it's a tricky stuff to do. You know, it's not that easy. When you see some YouTubers collaborating together, usually if they are very big, it might be easier for them because there are a lot of people to help them with stuff. But you know, it's a lot of work to do collaborations. You have to plan everything. They don't just, you know, like, yeah, call me on YouTube, I'm gonna do a live stream with you. That is very complicated, and you don't see that, you don't know that, because of course we, as YouTuber, you want to make things fun and easy for you to watch, but it's tricky. It's a tricky stuff to do. You have to work, you have to plan everything. You have to plan how you're gonna, you know, promote the videos after that, you know, on both channels, you know, to promote, you know, for the videos to be beneficial for both of you. So it's a tricky thing to do. It requires a lot of work. So I haven't done that so far. I was close to do it, but I haven't. So yeah, but I definitely will in the future, for sure. I'm gonna drink a little bit because I'm already thirsty. Okay. And by the way, I haven't said that earlier, but if you can share this live stream out to someone that might like what I do on this YouTube channel, it helps a lot. I feel if you've been there for a while, you know, during this live stream in the past, you already heard that a lot. I'm saying that a lot, but that's because I have to say that, because YouTube is not gonna promote this live stream after it's done, because I'm gonna unlist it, because I have to do that on this YouTube channel. Otherwise, there will be only, you know, live stream on the video page, and that's not cool at all. I don't want that. So if you share the live stream out to you know, Facebook group about, you know, Star Wars, or I don't know, something like that, or, you know, friends, sibling, that helps tremendously. So if you know someone that may do that, that may like what I do on this YouTube channel, don't hesitate to share this live stream out to him or her. It will mean so much for me. Thank you. So hey, Marco Stangin, good to see you here. Okay, I have a question. When you do next Marvel stuff, I don't know. At the moment, it's a lot of Star Wars stuff, because Star Wars is a big thing at the moment, and so I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes. I will for sure making more Star Wars Marvel props in the future, but it's not planned for, you know, the next one, for instance. Okay. Bye, Michel Cabot. Hope to see you here again soon. Okay, so the next question from the forum is from, my name is Subdo, my channel name is Haven Praise. Okay, that's great. And the question is, what the hardest thing that you have made? The hardest thing I've made, I think it's gonna be the Millennium Falcon. I think the Millennium Falcon is one of the hardest prop I've made so far, but not because it was hard to create, but because it was very, very time consuming, and I had to make a lot of small details to make the Millennium Falcon, and I did not expect that it would take that, you know, that long. I thought I would be able to make it in, you know, 3 weeks, and I think it took me something like 3 months at the time. Of course, I think now I would be able to make it like a month and a half, because I'm way better at it. But yeah, you have to know that when you do something that is really big in real life, and you make it small, like the Millennium Falcon, that is, you know, very big chip in the movie, in real life, not in real life, but in the movie, and you made it very small. For it to be great and to be impressive and everything, you have to make a lot of details. You have to make a lot of details. The quantity is the key here. It's even more important to make more details, a lot of details, than to make them very accurately. And actually, if you look my Millennium Falcon closer, you're gonna see that these details are not that great. Just that because there are a lot of them on the Millennium Falcon, it's impressive. So, and the problem is that it takes a lot of time. Even if you're not making them very accurately, you know, you have to spend, you know, like 5-10 minutes on each of them, you know, like making a wall, for instance. You know, it takes, you know, the glue and everything, that boom, 5 minutes just for a little wall, and you have 100 of them, you know. So it takes a lot of time to make these little details, and that's why the Millennium Falcon was one of the most time-consuming prop I did on this YouTube channel, with maybe the T-Rex head and the Dragon's head. The Dragon's head and T-Rex head were as well very time consuming. Not that tricky, there is not a lot of details, but because they are huge, you know, when you have to cover all the skeleton with thin cardboard, you know, just these steps, it's gonna take you a few days at least. So yeah, that's a lot of work to make these props. So yeah, that's a great question. So yeah, I think the Millennium Falcon is the right answer here. Okay, next question is from Aquatic HD, and the question is, do you make functional props or props that look like from the mobile? I'm not sure what you mean. Do you make functional props or that look like from the mobile. I'm not sure I understand what you mean. If you mean props that are working, you know, like, you know, gun that shoot or that kind of stuff, I do sometimes props that are working, like, you know, when I did, for instance, the pulse rifle, you can remove the magazine, or you can pump the rifle, that kind of stuff. But it's quite rare because it's not the primary goal of this YouTube channel. The primary goal of this YouTube channel is to make a replica, you know, movie props, replica, or props from shows and series and movies as accurately as possible. And if I can do a few things that are practicable, like, you know, I can move something on it, I do it. But if it's gonna take me too much time, and I don't have to, you know, to lower the quality, the accuracy of the props to make it working, I'm not gonna do that, because it's not the primary goal of this YouTube channel. If you want, there are YouTube channel that does that, you know, a lot of YouTube channel, I think I think does that. He's making a lot of guns out of cardboard, but they are very woof, you know, they are great because they're shooting everything, but they are not nice, you know, they are not accurate, they are not movie props with a lot of details and everything, because it's not the goal of their YouTube channel. The goal of this YouTube channel is to make very accurate replica using cardboard, which is a tricky material to use to do that kind of stuff. So yeah. So I do functional, practicable, you know, working stuff, but it depends. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Okay, I'm gonna have a look in the chat. And by the way, if you have questions, don't hesitate to put them in the form. There is a form for your question in the chat, in the description box below, because in the chat it's most of the time difficult for me to find out the questions. So don't hesitate to put your questions in the form that is in the description box below, guys. Okay, I have a question. Where do you do? Okay, I already answered to that one. Okay, a question. How many Boba Fett helmet do you have? Just one. That's a weird question. I'm always making one props. I don't do, you know, first attempt or first try. I don't have that kind of time, actually. When I do a props, I have to make it right from the beginning, because I know that I won't be able to restart the build. What are you doing? Okay, my cat is gonna do some things that are not good. Okay, that's okay. So yeah, so you have to. Yeah, I don't have that kind of time. I can't make something, you know, like working on something like for 2 weeks, and you know, and at some point to be like, oh, it's not great. I think I'm gonna restart everything. 2 weeks, and I throw this away. These 2 weeks I've been working on these props, they were for nothing. I can't do that. You know, I don't have this kind of time. They take weeks for me to, you know, it takes weeks for me to make these props. So if I have to remake things half along the way, you know, it's gonna, you know, I absolutely can't do that. But yeah. So I don't have many Boba Fett helmet. I have just one prop that I have twice, that I have in 2 examples. It's because the first one I made it as a Christmas gift for my father. It was even before starting this YouTube channel, and I have a second one. It was a Terminator arm, by the way. I have a second Terminator arm because I decided when I started this YouTube channel, I decided to remake it as a tutorial video for this YouTube channel, because of course when I did the first one, I didn't have the idea at the time to make a YouTube channel, to do a YouTube channel, so I didn't record the whole process. So I decided to remake it again. Okay, so the next question from the form is from Mary the cat owner, and the question, okay, Mary the cat owner, and the question is, what is your favorite prop you made? I already answered to that question. I think I answered the question a lot. I think I get the question a lot. One of my favorite props I made is probably the Xenomorph thread. But if you've been here for a while, you probably hear that already. But because the Xenomorph thread was the first time I was making anything that organic, you know, that was alive like that. You know, it's I didn't know if it would work out of cardboard. I was like, you know, so far I only made, you know, props, you know, shield, that kind of stuff. So I was like, I didn't know if it would work, and I was very happy with how it turned out. And because I'm a huge fan of the Alien saga, yeah, it was a big thing for me. Okay. Do you still work at movie? No, actually, I switched to full-time on YouTube a few months ago. So now I'm a full-time YouTuber. It's been about 3-4 months now that I'm a full-time YouTuber. So I'm not a Steadicam operator anymore. I still have my Steadicam because, you know, it's a device that I always have, you know, in my flat, and I keep it just, you know, in case I need it again. But yeah, I think I won't need it anytime soon. So yeah, so I'm not steady camera operator and director. I'm a director too, because the director stuff, you know, that I did is I directed a few short movies for me, and they were in some festival, that kind of stuff. And so, and I'm working on a new short film. Yeah, I'm always a director, but it's not something that I make money from. You know, I'm a director for my own stuff, and yeah. Okay. Do you plan on making the Bo-Katan helmet? I don't know. It's not planned for now. It's not on my to-do list, but it's not. It doesn't mean I won't. Maybe I will. So yeah, I'll have to think about it. Yes, P2 stand by. I have an Instagram, and you'll find me on Instagram under the same name, Epic Carbon Props. Actually, you'll find me everywhere under the same name. Facebook group, you know, Facebook page. I have a Facebook page as Epic Carbon Props. Instagram, Epic Carbon Props. Reddit, Epic Carbon Props. YouTube, TikTok as well. I have a TikTok under Epic Carbon Prop as well, and I have 450 followers on TikTok, 50,000 followers on TikTok, which is, you know, almost 4 times what I have on this YouTube channel. But that's crazy because I stopped doing videos on TikTok. So if you go on TikTok to find me, you're gonna be a little bit disappointed because I'm not making videos. I haven't been making new videos on TikTok for a while, and I try to go back to one videos where I say, yeah, I'm back. I did a videos on TikTok where I say, I'm back on TikTok, and I stopped doing videos after that. So yeah, TikTok is a real thing, because TikTok, you have a lot of people on TikTok, you know, that sweep your videos and they watch a lot of things, but they are not really into what you do, you know, and they follow very easily the people, but after that they don't watch what you do. So it's not the same thing. I feel like TikTok is, you can have a lot of followers on TikTok, but they are not really invested in what you do. So, you know, I have 150,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I feel like it's like twice, even 3 times the amount I have on TikTok in some ways, because on TikTok, most of my followers are not really invested in what I do. They just want to have fun watching some of my videos, and they sweep and they watch another one, and they are not really, you know, that's not really, yeah. So I stopped, but I should. So yeah, you'll find me, but to answer to that question, you find me everywhere, pretty much everywhere, under the same name, Epic Cardboard Props. Hey Raphael Theodore, good to see you here again. Are you collecting action figures like Hot Toys or something else? Oh! Okay. My cats just make something fall on the ground. My Velociraptor head, but I think it's okay. I think I'm gonna just pick that up. It's just for me to be sure that it's not gonna be destroyed from one of my cats if it's on the ground. Okay. Okay, so the question was, I hate the question, but so yes, I don't do that. I would love to. Maybe I will someday, but it's not. I'm not really. I collect off of my props. Maybe that's the one thing I keep, you know, a track and I collect. But yeah, I don't do Hot Toys, but I should, because Hot Toys are very great. Actually, I use a lot of Hot Toys pictures from Google to make a lot of my props on this YouTube channel, because they are usually very screen accurate. Which is very important for me on this YouTube channel, because I'm trying to make them as screen accurate as possible. So yeah, so I use a lot of the design from Hot Toys, and that's crazy, you know, because sometimes they do. I've seen Hot Toys publishing, you know, props even before the movies is released. You know, is released. That's crazy, and they, like, you know, I think it was for the Thanos double sword blade. I was mind blown, because I've seen the Hot Toys of it. I think it was like a month before the release of the movie, and it was so accurate. When I watched the movie, it was exactly the same, and it happens a lot, very often with them. I don't know how they do that. I think they must have some partnership with, you know, collaboration with the productions. I don't know. So yeah, but I will. Maybe I will someday. Okay, so can you make something for Ukraine? What do you mean? Because this channel is all about movie props, so I know that's, I don't know, maybe you're talking about, you know, something to honor what, you know, the heart, you know, to I don't know how to say that, but I know that you are in a very hard time at the moment in Ukraine, and so yeah, so I hope you're safe. But yeah, this channel is all about movie props, so props from movies and TV shows, so I can, you know, do everything I want, because it will be out of the topic. It would be in line with the topic of this YouTube channel. Okay. I already did that by Martin. I already make something live, but usually it's quite boring. And I learned that the hard way, you know. I did I made the Lucky's Crown live in several live stream, and at the end I had like, you know, 2-3 people that were watching the live stream, because it was you know, in the tutorial videos I do on this YouTube channel, I short everything. I explain every steps and I cut all the fat. You know, for you to be able to see the entire tutorials in like 20 minutes. But yeah, so I cut everything. I accelerate some parts that are quite long, and you don't need to watch this step, you know, like 5 minutes in a row. If you can watch the same step in like 30 seconds, and it explains to you everything you need to make the props yourself, that's good for me. So so on my tutorial videos, usually it's very short, because everything is compact, and you know, so but when I do a live stream, you know, you get to see everything, which can be great for a lot of people that want to see all of the little steps, and I do when I do these props, and that's great, and I think some people were very happy to see that. But unfortunately, if it's not, you know, if working well on YouTube, and you don't want, you know, no one show up, or almost no one shows up, I have to do something else. And when I do something live, because they are very time consuming, you know, it's gonna take me several hours, several live to finish the props. You know, at some point people lose the interest. So that's why, you know, I can't really do making something live, because I'm not making quick, fast props. They are very time consuming to create. So if I do that live, it's gonna take ages. That's why I don't really do that. Okay, so the next question from the forum is from Waze Edits. And the question is, will you start painting your helmet? No, I won't, because for me, cardboard, you can paint your helmet if you want to. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but for me, I think it's not a good idea to paint your props that you made out of cardboard, because you won't be able to have a perfect result out of cardboard when you make something out of cardboard. Even me, all my props, you know, even they feel as they are great, but if you watch them closer, you know, you see they are not perfect. Like, you know, if you take this one, you know, you can see a lot of corrugations, the edges. It's not perfect, and so when you paint, even that one, you know, that one is quite great, but if you want watch it closer, you know, you can see the corrugations through the cardboard. You know, some details are quite rough. It's not perfect. So I think to have the wow effect, to keep the wow effect on your props, you need to see that it's made out of cardboard right out of the gate when it's done. And if you paint it, you're gonna lose it, because people are gonna, you know, siblings and friends are gonna see a props that is cool, you know, that but that, you know, something is off and something is not good. They're gonna think, maybe they won't say it, but they're gonna think like, yeah, it's great, it's cool, but yeah, I think people making way better thing, you know, more accurate stuff, and they won't be able to see that it's out of cardboard, because the fact that it's made out of cardboard is the crazy thing, because most people doesn't think you could make such stuff out of cardboard. So that's why I keep the cardboard aspect, because I think it's a nonsense to paint your props that you made out of cardboard for me, because if you want to do a perfect prop, painting anything, I think it's better just to use another material like foam, plastic, resin, even wood would be a better you know, material to make a very accurate replica. And I think it's gonna be even easier to learn how to use that kind of material than trying to paint the cardboard in the perfect way. After that being said, you can paint your cardboard with great result, but it's gonna require you to use very tricky techniques more than just cardboard. I mean, if you just want to paint the cardboard itself without doing anything else before, it's gonna be quite bad. But of course, there are some stuff you can do. If you want to paint the cardboard the best way, you can apply modeling paste on it before painting the cardboard. If you apply modeling paste the same way I did on this, you know, for the tutorial, the Boba Fett tutorial helmet I did. If you apply modeling paste as I show in these tutorial videos, after that you can paint it and you have great result, because you had smooth out the entire surface of it using modeling paste. You can use resin to do so as well. You can use, you know, that kind of stuff. And if you apply a primer first before painting your props, as well, you know, it's gonna help you a lot to have great result when you paint your props. Of course, that's not things that I can really do. I did a try with this one, but it's, you know, it's a little bit outside of what I do here. You know, it's epic cardboard props, so the challenge here is to make pretty much everything out of cardboard and paper. If I'm starting to use resin, modeling past all the time, you know, that kind of stuff, you know, it's gonna be, you know, why I'm called epic cardboard props if I do that. So yeah, so I can't do that myself. If you want to do that, I really recommend you to, you know, to apply modeling pass the same way I did for the Boba Fett helmet, or resin or something. Maybe try to watch a few tutorials on YouTube to how to do that. If you use modeling pass, you can watch my tutorial videos on Boba Fett helmet, because I show how to do that with modeling pass. And so yeah, but otherwise, you know, I don't recommend to paint your props, and I won't do that myself. It's not planned anyway for the moment. Maybe you know, you never know. Maybe I will in the future. It's totally possible. But for now, it's not planned to do so. Okay, so so I don't have any question in the form. I'm gonna have a look in the chat. And by the way, if you have questions and you want to drop them in the chat, maybe try to put a hashtag question in front of your question in the chat. That way I'll be able to find out the question a little bit easier. And another thing, don't hesitate to share this live stream out to someone that might be interested in what I do on this YouTube channel. I said that earlier in this live stream, but I have to repeat it. It's very important for me that you do that, because YouTube is not gonna promote this live stream when it's done, because I'm gonna unlist it. I'm always doing that, unfortunately, because I have to do that on this YouTube channel. I have to unlist the live streams, because otherwise, you know, my YouTube channel will be flown with live streams. So I have to do that. So I'm really counting on you to promote the live stream if you can. It helps tremendously. Okay. So Nikki, do you have any tips that you learned the hard way apart from live building? That's a great question, Nikki. Do you have any tips that you learned the hard way? So yeah, I have one, but I'm not sure it's gonna help you a lot. Because when I did the Death Star 2, I did big mistakes. It was the only time, pretty much the only time I did. No, there is a second one. I did a big mistake on the second prop. I'm gonna talk about it a little bit later. But the first big mistake I did, one of the first big mistake I did was the Death Star 2. Because when I started the Death Star 2, I wanted to make, of course, a perfect, you know, ball, to, you know, something, a sphere, you know, of it. And I started to make it the same way I did, you know, the Captain Shield, you know, with slices of cardboard that are thicker in the middle and very thinner in the side. That way, you know, by gluing next to each other, I thought at the time I would have a ball sphere that would be quite correct, and I realized that it would be the case. Even, you know, I did the maths and everything, so it should have been. But when you know, apply the glue and everything, the glue adds some space between the pieces, so it ended up to be very oval and not round at all. So, you know, halfway through, I see the thing, and I was like, can I correct it the same way I did for the Captain Shield? Because Captain Shield, I correct the shape of it by making slices of it. By making cut on it. I show that in the tutorial video. So I was like, can you do that? But yeah, I can. So I throw the whole thing away and I restart it. And that's when I find out how to do perfect sphere, because I started to do a skeleton and I applied cardboard on top of it, and it was the first time I was using these techniques, but I use a lot after that on this YouTube channel. And so yeah, so that's one of the mistakes. And the other mistakes I learned the hard way, and unfortunately I wasn't able to correct it, because as I said, I can't restart a build from the beginning when I'm like 2 weeks through, because I don't have that kind of time on this YouTube channel, unfortunately. So I have to deal with it, unfortunately. But the Iron Man helmet I did on this YouTube channel is too big. You have to know that if you make it, it's gonna be big. It's more like a war machine. The goal with this one was to make Iron Man helmet, but it ended up to be like a war machine helmet, you know, a little bit too bulky. And because of the way I was making it, you know, by layering pieces of cardboard, you know, and I was 2 weeks in when I realized that it was I would have to restart all of it for me to be able to make it the right size. So I didn't, unfortunately. So you see that on the tutorial videos. It's not hidden or something. You can see that it's a little bit big, but you have to know that if you want to make the Iron Man helmet, it's gonna be a little bit big. bigger than the real one. Yeah, so sometimes that mistake comes up, but most of the time, that's the biggest mistakes I did on this YouTube channel. Most of the time, the mistakes I do usually are quite small. Yeah, they are very cool. The Terminator arm is not very accurate, but it's not my design. So because the Terminator arm was the first prop I made on this YouTube channel, even before the YouTube channel. It was a gift from my father. I already said that on this live stream, and I did that using the design from another YouTuber who's called Moodbuens TV DIY. Unfortunately, he stopped doing videos, but yeah, he's so skilled at making things out of cardboard. And yeah, I shouldn't say that because it's not my design, and I've learned so much great stuff. All the early techniques you see on this YouTube channel, and even a lot of the techniques I'm still using right now, I've learned them from this guy, you know, from Moodbuens TV DIY, which is awesome. He's so good at making stuff out of cardboard. So yeah, but this Terminator arm, I realized after that it wasn't that accurate, you know. But yeah, I shouldn't say that because he's a great guy, and he for instance, he did the Dark Vader helmet, and the Dark Vader helmet is just unbelievable, and that's why I have so much pressure, by the way, because he is basically my mentor, and I want to make the Dark Vader helmet. I already started the build, you know. I already started to work on Dark Vader helmet in 3 parts and everything, with the necklace part, the, you know, the big stuff. But he did so much great work with this helmet on his YouTube channel that I'm like, you know, how the heck I'm gonna be able to do something, you know, just as near close, you know, as good as he did. So yeah, but I digress again. Okay, so the next question from the forum is from Outfall. And by the way, I hope that answers the question. I'm gonna... So yeah, so I digress a lot. So I'm not gonna paint my props. That's the answer to your question, basically. So the next question is from Outfall. And the question... So he made the Captain America shield, and the question is, what is your favorite part of making props? What do you enjoy about it? That's a great question. Thank you for asking that question. That's cool. What is your favorite part of making props? What do you enjoy about it? What my favorite part, I think, is, you know, each time when I do a new props, I'm starting by watching, you know, looking for some pictures on internet and or 3D models or something, and I'm always like, you know, I really enjoy to think, you know, now I'm committed. I want to make these props. I'm gonna start it. I know I can, and I'm always thinking like, you know, that at some point in a month it's gonna be done. You're gonna have that props in your hand. It's gonna be quite similar because that's the goal of what I do here. And that always blows my mind to say that to myself, that, you know, even before starting the first step, that at some point in a month I'll have it in my hand. You know, this prop that is awesome. That's great. That's, you know, how much I'm a nerd with these props. So yeah, that's one of the things I really appreciate when I'm starting a build, and I'm very at the beginning. I'm like, you know, I know that at some point I have these props in my hand. It's gonna be great. So that's excited, you know. So that there is that, and yeah. What is your favorite part of making props? Yeah, when I'm almost done, maybe when I reach the end of it. I really enjoy the work that I do on my YouTube, on my computer, because it's where I understand. It's where I understand when it's gonna, you know, what is gonna be, you know, is how I'm gonna be able to make it, pretty much, because I'm designing every pieces and every part of it on my computer now, which wasn't the case before. Before I was only using my brain, my hands and stuff. Now I'm using a lot of software, tricky softwares. So yeah, great question. Next question is from Nova Quips, and the question is, I'm trying to make a Magneto helmet, but I can't make the top. Can you give me tips, please? That's a great one, because the top of the of the helmet I did, it's always the trickiest part of these props. That's why when I did the Moderator helmet, I did a skeleton, and I did the same thing for all the round part on my props. You know, when you see all the round props I made, you know, if you see, you know, all the helmet, usually not the last one, because I'm gonna talk about it. I found a new techniques to do so, but all my older tutorials about helmet and the Death Star and BB-8, everything that is round, usually I used to do a skeleton because skeleton is way easier to create accurately with the right proportions. And after that, I just apply a thin cardboard on the top of the skeleton and have the right shape of the helmet. Because the helmet usually are not just round. They have, like, you take this one for instance, it's not just round, it's a little bit flat on the top, a little bit bigger on the back, a little bit thinner, it's not exactly a ball, so it's important to get the shape right, otherwise it looks weird. So, and to do so accurately, it's difficult, by just bending the cardboard. Now I'm doing that by bending the cardboard, but because I use softwares, and I did that, for instance, with the Boba Fett helmet, and some people make me notice that, they want me to, they would like to make the Mandalorian helmet the same way I did this one, but fortunately, I didn't, it's not gonna work that way. But for this one, for instance, because I use software, I was able not to make a skeleton before. I just designed the surface of it on my software, making cut on the templates that I use after that. And that's where, just by gluing the cut and gluing the pieces together, following the number order, you have the exact right shape you need to make the helmet. But that requires to use software, tricky softwares. So unfortunately, I think you won't be able to do that yourself unless you know how to use Blender and 3D models, because I use several 3D models to do so. A Blender, and I did 2D pieces from it. That's why I was able to do the top of the helmet that accurately. So how to do that yourself? I think the best way to do that yourself is by making a skeleton the same way I did in my previous tutorial videos. Don't hesitate to have a look on this. The helmet I did previously, before the Boba Fett helmet, and you'll see that I just did a skeleton, with slices of cardboard, at the right dimensions at every part of it. If, for instance, if you take the Mandalorian helmet, I did a slice, that was that high, and after that, from the pictures, the same slice, I try to make the same slice. That's the right. Wide. Oh, I'm not able to speak English now, but I think you see what I mean. It's a tricky process, but that's the best way to have a tricky process and a time-consuming process to do as well. But it's the best way for you to make something round like that. Unfortunately, or you can use the techniques I use with Boba Fett without using software. You can try to make pieces of cardboard, make cut, and making it pretty much the same way. But if you don't use software, and you may have to remake it a couple of times to have the right shape, the shape that you want, or maybe just glue the pieces and maybe make cut after that if you feel like it's a little bit too wide, to make it a little bit smaller, that kind of stuff. You can try to do that. It's gonna be a little bit laborious and difficult, but you can do that way if you want. Okay, so I'm gonna do something. Okay, I'm gonna answer the next two questions in the form. So the form is closed now because I'm gonna wrap this live stream up quite soon now. I'm gonna answer the last question from the form before. So the next question from the form is from Abinand Anto, and the question is: are you planning on making a tutorial video on your templates? Yeah, as I talked about it. I talked a little bit about it earlier in this live stream. I'm gonna do, at some point, a series of videos where I'm gonna explain to you how I do my templates. But because it's gonna, as I said, that's making these templates and all of this stuff is 70% of the job that you won't see in my tutorial videos. In my tutorial videos, I'm basically showing you how to assemble the templates, which is already quite complicated for most people, but 70% of the job actually is making these templates and designing them and everything, which take weeks. So it's a lot of work, a lot of things, a lot of things to show and to explain that I can explain now in my regular tutorial videos. But I plan to make a series of videos, maybe for the members, I'm not sure yet, where I will be explaining to you how to make your own templates. But you've been warned, it's gonna be very laborious and long, like it might be like 20 hours of videos that I'm gonna work, for me to be able to explain to you. So it's, I'm not sure that most of you doesn't really realize what it's gonna be, but I will do it anyway, because I know that I know that a lot of people would like to see that, so I'm gonna do that at some point. The next question from the form is from Outfall again, and the question is: what gave you the idea to start a YouTube channel and teach people to make props? The idea was actually, I I talked about it a few times on this during this live stream. I got the idea from another YouTuber who's called Moodbrains TV DIY. I did my very first prop as a Christmas gift for my father, which was the Terminator arm. And after that, you know, people were like, you know, oh, that's awesome, you have to show that to the world, and you're doing your own YouTube channel or something, or Facebook, I don't know. And I decided to create my own YouTube channel to do my own stuff. And the first one was the Million Falcon, and after that the Thor's Hammer, and the rest is history. But yeah, so I had the idea from another YouTuber, and Moodbrains TV DIY. Don't hesitate to check his channel out and maybe say hello from me. Maybe I can give you, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna give you the link in the chat from his YouTube channel, and don't hesitate to have to go after the live stream to see him and to say hello, and maybe ask him to keep working on this YouTube channel, because he stopped making videos, which is a shame because he's so good. I'm not sure why he stopped doing videos. Maybe because, you know, YouTube came in stuff. You know, it's tough. You know, I've been working in the movie industries for 15 years, so I knew a couple of stuff, you know, when I started this YouTube channel, like, you know, how film myself, and even despite my very bad accent, so I was able, you know, to grow quite fast, but it wasn't really his case, I think, and I think he got demotivated because of it. So that's his YouTube channel, by the way. Okay, so don't hesitate to check it out after this live stream, and say hello from Epic Cardboard Props, and, you know, and give him some love, because he really deserves that. I think he will see your comments at some point. Okay, so that's basically it. I hope that you love this live stream, you enjoy this live stream. I don't know if you love it, but I really love that. So I love doing this live stream, and I really have a lot of fun making this live stream with you guys, and talking about props and craft and movies and all of this kind of very fun stuff. And yeah, so if you enjoyed the live stream, leave a thumbs up, and maybe leave a comment as well, and don't hesitate to share, as I said earlier, don't hesitate to share the live stream out to someone that might be interested, that might be into what I do on this YouTube channel, because that helps a lot. Because I'm gonna unlist, not right away, but I'm gonna unlist the YouTube, the videos, the live stream after, you know, when I'm done with it, because I don't want my YouTube channel to be flown with a lot of live stream everywhere, because I'm only making 1 or 2 tutorials videos a month, and I want it to be the focus of my YouTube channel, not the live streams. So don't hesitate to share the live stream out to friends or someone, Facebook group, Reddit, somewhere, and that helps tremendously. And so yeah, I hope that you enjoyed the live stream. I'm sorry if I haven't have the time to answer all the questions from the chat. I was able to answer all the questions from the forum, but you know, in the chat sometimes it's difficult. So I'm sorry about that. If I wasn't able to answer your question in the chat, don't hesitate to put again your questions in the comments area of the live streams. I will answer all the questions after the live streams. Maybe not right after the live streams, but in the next 24 hours. And so yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the live stream. Stay safe, have a great week, and so yeah, see you next time. Bye everyone. Bye Gary Tree Singh, Arav, Asaf Dimitruk, Nikki. Hey, c'est un jeune making the Predator mask. Alien headbust made cool. Okay, that's great. That's awesome. Thank you again for the tips. You're welcome, Nikki. I'm glad I could help. Nova Trips, Adam Seva Salvatore. Bye everyone. Bye Nova Chris. Bye the Assembler. Demisis Mesavavedra. Nova Creeps. Okay. Bye Raphael. Okay, thank you the Assembler. Okay, so bye everyone. Stay safe, and yeah, see you next time. Next week at the same hour on Wednesday at 11 AM Eastern Time as usual. I'm going live every week. So yeah, see you next week, and don't forget there is something awesome in your cardboard boxes. See you next time, guys. So where is the button? The button is here.